Hello, this is David D. Hilster. I'm a critical thinker, science dissident, and I'm here to tell you the truth about science. Something your university professors won't tell you, the mass media won't tell you, and of course those science evangelists won't tell you either. I want to thank my friend Chris Ekman, who I hope doesn't mind a shout out, for showing me this another article. And again, we're going to go through what is wrong with the words in science in these articles and how you too can become a critical thinker and actually a science linguist, which you really have to be, because when they use words, they're usually pretty vacuous and it sounds pretty incredible, but they're pretty empty. So we're going to look at this one at sciencealert.com called "Gravitational Waves Are Permanently Warping the Fabric of Space-Time." Wow. Instead of going over the title, I'll just go to the first sentence because there's so much stuff in here. Here we go. First sentence. Researchers have proposed a method for detecting exotic events in physics by looking for scars they leave behind on the fabric of space. Oh, where to start, where to start, where to start. Let's look at a couple things here. Detecting exotic events. This in physics. This is a problem, and the reason this is a problem is because the idea here is they're exotic, they're hard, they're not normal, they're not regular physics. This is the part of science where you either have to be a guru in it, a PhD in cosmology, or a PhD as an astrophysicist, and you need to know, of course, what the exotic part is, and the only way you can know it is to train and then talk about it later after you've gotten your PhD and you've gone through all the hoops to prove that you know all the lingo and can say all the lingo, and that is an exotic event which you and I can never understand. So one of the parts of the exotic event is to make us feel two things. One, oh wow, this is really different. This is not regular Newtonian physics. It's exotic. It can't be Newton, even though the universe is all Newton. Exotic event. And it's also to make it sound much more interesting than detecting events. So the word exotic is used to make it sound more interesting, and also to make it sound very different from Newtonian physics. And again, I don't believe the universe is beyond Newtonian, but that's a whole different story. All right, but that's just going there. So you have the exotic events. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Okay, looking for scars, looking for the scars. Okay, this is using poetic language. But again, that's what this person is doing. They're writing poetry. They're not writing necessarily science. So we're looking for scars they leave behind on the fabric of space. Now this is really interesting because, like, if you're writing about all this stuff, you have to sort of like put in fabric or not fabric, or space-time, space-time, space, fabric of space-time. I've never really seen this, fabric of space. Now again, I have a real problem. We have the word space in English and in other languages. Most all languages have them. Not all of them have a word for space, but most all of them do. And the idea is real simple. It means nothing there. Doesn't mean that we have things in space. That's true. But the idea of fabric of space, what the heck is that? It's fabric of space-time, space-time, space. We bend it. We stretch it. In this case, we scar it. But we never know what it is. We talk about it as if it's magical, and that's where we get the exotic part. So you can see how this entire sentence is just full of political verbiage and really absent of any real physics. Exotic events, have no idea what that means. Looking for the scars. What's a scar? Left behind in the fabric of space. That seems really funny because what is this fabric of space? Everybody talks about fabric of space. We don't know what it is. Now, the next sentence, by identifying how objects like cosmic strings or evaporating black holes leave behind memories of their existence in the universe. Please just slit my throat now. Just take a knife and cut my head off and put me out of my misery, because this is science today. Listen to this. Cosmic strings, how objects like cosmic strings or evaporating black holes. We never tell the public what these physical things are. We never give a physicality for anything. And yet we talk in this way of how, as if we, I guess, understand it. Is this something we understand? Is that why we write about it? Is this flowered? Journalists who write about science really think they're really smart because they hang out with the real smart people and they write down, my goal is, my job is to write it down so that we'll take things that are very hard to understand and make the public interested and perhaps understand a little bit, but of course they never can because they don't have PhDs. I've hung around with it, so I know the lingo. It's lingo. You can repeat and you can get an A on a test on special relativity. Doesn't mean special relativity is correct. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get an A. You can repeat things. We can be parrots. That's what these people do. Oh, well, we have to trust the scientists. Are you telling me they're all wrong? Yeah, they were all wrong when they thought the Earth was the center of the universe. Yeah, they're all wrong when they thought the Earth was flat. Yeah, they were all wrong when they thought the S-curves of planets were S-curves, and that's the way they traveled. They were wrong about that. They're wrong about lots of things. Yes, they are wrong about relativity. Yes, they are wrong about plate tectonics. The Earth has been expanding and other bodies have expanding. Yes, they are wrong on the Big Bang. The universe has been around forever. We see stars dying and being born and dying and being born and dying again. This doesn't sound like a Big Bang and a big crunch to me. So, yes, people are wrong. You can have the entirety of physics and universities teaching the wrong stuff. This happens in history all the time. But again, you're seeing this article, and you can just keep going through this, but I don't want to belabor the point. But you're starting to get the idea here. You got to really, really listen to what people are writing. Really try to see if there's any real physics there at all. And physics means physical. Theoretical physics is an oxymoron. It's a tautology. It's a opposites. It's a clash of one thing that's the opposite of another. Theoretical physics. There's nothing, as Dr. Kessley in my documentary, who's an experimentalist at the Stanford Linear Accelerator, says, there's nothing theoretical about physics. Yet that's all you hear about. Okay. That's all for now. And remember, don't take what anyone says on faith. Stay critical. Stay thinking. I'm Dave D. Hilster, your science therapist. Ciao for now.